this. I don't know if it's an actual code, but this is how the codes look like. Okay, so I run it, and then you see it comes out AMS 2010 subject classification. So that has to do with the title, with the topic of your article. So there are different codes available. You can check them online. Okay, so now I'm back to the main stuff. As you can see that number one is first section. I want my first section to be introduction. So I'm going to delete first section and type introduction. So if I type introduction on this section, I run, and then it runs right here. You can see that number one, introduction. So that's it. Okay, now I think I have dwelt a lot on this, so I can move on to really how to type mathematics on LaTeX. Now, I want to first start by mentioning some basic things, like if you want something to be, if you want to text in a bold way. So first of all, I'm looking at text. So maybe let me just open a notepad. I'm sorry. So just to open a notepad to tell you what I want to do right now. So far in the lesson of today, so this has nothing to do. This is just like the outline of the stuff. So LaTeX training. So number one, I kind of looked at how to open the program. Then number two, I looked more or less like a general overview of the structure of LaTeX, of the code source, of the file, or the source file, whichever, file source, whichever, sorry for my grammar. And then now number three, I want to talk a little bit of how to format text. And what I want to talk about is how to, let's say, bolden a text, how to make a text to be in italic, and how to maybe center a text. So I'll start with that. Yeah, basic commands, very basic. So first of all, how to bolden a text. So if I want my text to be bold, I just type /text BF. Okay, so just like text bold family, and then I type my text. So this is going to be bold. And then I end with a curly bracket. So you see the command is /text BF. I open the curly bracket, then I type, this is going to be bold. I end the curly bracket, and then I click on this typeset once, it runs, and you see right here, this is going to be bold. That's it. So it's just as simple as that. So that's /text BF. Now, to start a new line, to start a new paragraph, you click on this stuff, double, so you can see right here, I double backslash or whatever you call it, this stuff here, double backslash, that's to start a new paragraph. So if I click on this stuff and I continue, I say this is a new line, you would notice that although I'm typing on the same line, it's not going to be so on the PDF output. So I'm going to run it again, and you see right here, this is going to be bold, and then you see this is a new line. So this double slash gives you a new line, okay? Even though, so it doesn't matter. Now, now this is a new line. If I forget to put this double slash or whatever you call it, and I just go back, like I click on enter, and I go to another line on the source code, and I said, I type something like, I think this should be a new line. You would notice that although it's a new line on the text code, when I run it, when I run the LaTeX document, you see it continues. It's on the same line. So nothing would happen even if I go to the next line on the course code, on the file source. So what will make this stuff to go to a new line is if I click on this double slash. Now, if I click on double slash and I run it, you'll see it goes to the next line. So basically what I'm just saying is that this double slash is a new line. That's all I'm saying. And then /text BF is to make your text bold within the curly brackets. Now let me go to another stuff, and then I'm going to type slash text IT. That's for italic text. That means the text that is bent. So this is going to be in italics or whatever you call it. Okay, so if I run this stuff, then you see right here, it's italic. So now we know how to type a bold text. We know how to type something that is italic. If you want to center a text, you see this is, it always starts, it's always left aligned, so it always starts from the left. But if I want okay, so maybe I should not talk about center for now. I will talk about it a little bit later. So right now, text B slash text BF slash text IT to bolding and to make it italic. Okay, so now let me move to formulas, because that's where the main thing is as a mathematician, not the text. All right, now if I'm typing and I want, so let me go back to my outline. So number 4, formulas. Okay, so I'm going to distinguish formulas by, there's a first type of formula, which is like inline formulas. I would explain what that means. And then there's a second type of formulas, which are like displayed formulas. Okay, so I will explain that. So imagine I want to type a formula, and I want to say, so now I need to open something to just tell you what I want to type. Now, this is what I want to type. I will write it here just for you to see. Okay. All right. Now, imagine I want to type something. Okay, I want to type something like the equation, and then I want to type so I want to write the equation. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. I'm trying to see how I can draw. So I want to type, let's say, just a minute, please. I'm trying to type the equation for you to see what I want to type. Okay, but maybe I've forgotten how to do that. But okay, let me just, so I want to type something like x. So the equation x plus 1 is equal to 5. Okay, I want to type something like this. So this is an inline equation. That means that the equation is within the text. Okay, so this is what I want to type on LaTeX. This is Word, so I just want to tell you what I want to type so that you can have it in mind. So now let me go back to my LaTeX file. I'm here. Remember, I've told you what I want. So I will type the equation is, now whatever I'm typing inline starts with a $sign and ends with a $sign. That's just the difference in LaTeX. So the equation is, I would start with a $sign, then I will put x plus 1 is equal to 5, and then I will close with a $sign and full stop. Then let me run it for you to see. You see right here, the equation is x plus 1 is equal to 5. So that's just what I wanted to say, that any inline equation starts with a $sign and ends with a $sign. By the way, it's not, I mean, if you don't want to use $sign, you can use something else. Some people use, so you can also type it this way. You can also type it this way. The equation is, instead of starting with a $sign, you can type a slash, I mean, a backslash, then you type a bracket. So this slash and bracket stands as $sign. Then you type x plus 1 equals 5. And then you type the backslash, and then you type a bracket. So you either start with $sign, type your equation, and with $sign, or you start with anti-slash, then bracket, then backslash, bracket. Now let me run it for you to see. You see it runs, same thing. So same output, same thing. So no difference. All right, okay. Now, that's just all for inline formulas. Now, if you want your formulas to be displayed, that means you don't want your x plus 1 equals to 5 to be within the text. You want it to stand all alone. Then you just do double dollar sign. So this is an example of some typing of a displayed equation. So double dollar sign, x plus 1 is equal to 5, full stop, and I end it also with double dollar sign. I will run it here by typesetting it. You see, it's displayed. So it stands all alone. Of course, there's another type. If you don't want to use double dollar sign, then you can use, this is another displayed equation. So instead of double dollar sign, you can use anti-slash or backslash, whichever. Then you use this square brackets. Then write your equation. So x plus 6 is equal to 8. Then backslash, and then square brackets. So that stands for dollar sign. I run it, and you see, same thing. Absolutely the same thing. So if you want to display your equation in that, double dollar sign to start and double dollar sign to end, or backslash square brackets, and same thing to end. All right, now I'm done basically with displayed formulas. Now within those formulas, obviously, you may have to type some arithmetic stuff. So that's the next thing I'm going to consider now. That's number 5. Going to see how to say grouped formulas. Let me just call it that way. So first of all, I want to see how to write some arithmetic stuff. All right, so what I mean by that is arithmetics. If you want, you have plus for addition. You see, I've been always typing plus. You type that on your software. So let me type, these are some operations. Okay, so I open the dollar sign. Remember, that's for something that is inline, plus. Okay, let me just end with it. Let me close the dollar sign, then comma, then I open another dollar sign. Minus, you just type minus on your keyboard, nothing else. I close the dollar sign. Let me open another dollar sign. You have the dot. The dot for multiplication on LaTeX is /c dot. That's the dot for multiplication. On LaTeX is /c dot. Okay. Then if you want to have times, like times, that's for it to come out as times, then is /times. That's all. Okay. So full stop. And then I run it. You see, it comes out. These are some operations: plus, minus, you can see the dot, times. So basically, that means instead of, like, I can say A plus B is equal to C. I can say A minus B is equal to 0. I can say A /C dot B, that's for A times B, and then A / times B. Okay, let me run it for you to see how it's run. See, it's right here. These are some operations: A plus B equals to C, A minus B is equal to 0, A dot B, that's A /C dot B, and then A times B, that's A /times B. That's all, like nothing else. All right, let me check the charts just in case there's any observation or so. Okay. Okay, so however, there is no double, there is no this between ergos, yet a new line is created in between them. Oh, so, okay, so I'll check that. Okay. Okay, so nice. So the question one of you is asking is, you see here you have, here goes the text, and then you have, there is going to be, this is going to be bold, and you see there is no, I didn't put double slash, yet there's a new line. And that's a very good question, and I failed to mention it. And that's that's because I added more than one gap, and the one like there is a line, a blank line in between. So what I mean is that right here, if I type, here goes the text, and I go to the next line, there won't be any new line. You see right here, there's no new line because I just went to the next line. But if I want a new line, I just need to create an empty line here. Then it will go even without the double backslash. You can see that it goes to the next line. So yeah, that's a good question. So that's just like, instead of this double backslash, you can leave a whole full blank line, and then it will have the same effect. Now, if you put 10, would I say 10 empty lines, it doesn't change anything. It's still the same. It just acts like one line. So that's it, just like the next line. Okay, so yeah, that was a question I missed from earlier on. Okay, so I'm back to where I typed this as some operations. Now I want to find this place on the text. I can just click on right click and then go to jump to PDF, and then it tells me where it is right here. Okay, so yeah, you can ask your question, you can drop it in the comments. I would find. Okay, so now that's all about arithmetics. Now, I want to, let's say we want to type a fraction. Okay, so these are some operations: a plus b, a minus b, a c dot c, and then let's go to a times b. Let me now say I want to type a fraction, say a divided by b. Now, for fractions, all I need to do is to, of course, a $sign, then click slash frac. So then I have slash frac. So slash frac, that's for fraction. Then I open the curly bracket. A, that's for the numerator. I close the curly bracket. Then I open the curly bracket. B, that's for the denominator. I end the curly bracket. And then I end the $sign. So you can see I open the $sign, slash frac, and then curly brackets. Whatever comes inside this first curly bracket, that's going to be the numerator. Whatever comes under this second, between this second pair of curly brackets, that's going to be denominator. And then I'm going to run it for you to see. Type set, run it, and then you see right here, it's right here, a times b, a divided by b, right here. But of course, it's a small fraction because it's inline, so it's within the text. Now, if I want it to be a big fraction, I can add, instead of slash frac, I can take slash dfrac, so slash dfrac. So this is for fractions, slash dfrac. So slash dfrac, then I run it for you to see. You can see it's a bigger fraction. So slash frac, that's for regular fractions. Slash dfracs, if you want your fractions to be more presentable, let's just use that word. Okay, so I have some charts. I want to check them. Why didn't you show how to center and italic? Okay, to put in italic. Okay, what if you want to make a text bigger or smaller? Okay, and all of that. Okay, fine. Okay, so I showed how to make something to be italic. I think it's somewhere here, slash text IT, right here, slash text IT. That's how to make it to be italic. Okay, so I think I also missed something out. Okay, so for center, I didn't talk about center. I will do that. Now, can I copy already text document from Word or Notepad directly on any of the commands? Well, you can, if you can try to copy, but there will be some issues. So if you want to copy a text from Word to LaTeX, I advise you to just copy the text. Like anything that doesn't have any formulas, you can copy them. That means if you want to copy like just a plain text that has only words, you can copy from Word and then bring it to LaTeX. But once you have formulas, you have to be a little more careful. And and that's why I'm showing how to type formulas on LaTeX. So it's a little bit different. And now there are some other softwares that may help, but not exactly, you need an additional software basically for that. Okay, so I will take one last. Okay, all right, okay, so that's it. All right, now, so I'm done with fractions. Now I want to tell, so again, let me not forget your question. Your question was how to type a text and put it at the center. Okay, let me just do that so that I mean it's not a big deal. Now let me go back to this. Here goes the text right here. So I'm back here, and I want to type something, and I want it to be at the center. So to be at the center, just type. I think you type /begin center. Then you type, okay, so this will be at the center of the document, full stop, and then /end center. I think so. Then I will try to run it. And then you see it comes here at the center. So that's just it, okay? So if you want something to be at the center, just put /begin center, then you type your text, then /end center. That's just how to put it to make it at the center. So /begin center, type your text, then /end center. That will put your stuff at the center of the document. So that's the answer to that question. Okay, so can I explain /defrag again? Fine. And then you install the LaTeX. You noticed an error message that the geometry.sti is missing. Okay, so if geometry.sti is missing, that's a little bit strange, but that's not a problem. If geometry.sti is missing, you can try to check where towards the beginning of your, all the stuffs here at the beginning of the document. So you can try to check for anything that has to do with geometry somewhere at the beginning, and then you just put a, you put a comment, like you send it to comment. What I mean by sending something to comment is, let's just assume that here there was something like geometry. You just go here and then you put the % sign so that it will go as a comment, so it will not affect your document. By doing so, I think that you'll be able to overcome that problem. So that's for the person that asked that question. Okay, so now let me come back to what we were saying. Somebody asked how to deal with fractions again. So again, fraction, just type /frac, then you open a curly bracket, you type the numerator, you close it. So here is A, then you open another curly bracket, you type B, then you close it. So this is what gives you a fraction, and it gave you A over B. And then, but if you don't want fraction and you want your fraction to be a little bit bigger, then you type /d fraction, /d. So this is what you type, and then it gives you this. So that's just it, okay? I hope that answers your question. Okay, I hope you put us through on the process of how to install that. Okay, I can do that at the end. I can do that at the end. I wanted you to install it before we start, so that you'll be able to follow. That's actually why it was nice to install before that. But that's okay. I can do that at the end of it. Now, the difference between regular fraction, like the normal fraction, and defrag is right here. This is the difference. You see the first frac /frac gave you just a very small miniature, like very small stuff, A over B. Not so nice. /defrag is a little bit bigger. That's the difference. So this is defrag, and then this is /frac. This is /defrag, /frac. That's it, just the difference in size. Okay, and of course it makes it a little bit more beautiful. Okay, okay, yeah, so I will get to square root later. All right, now let me talk about how to put stuff in subscript. Now I want to type something like, let AN be a sequence. So, all right, so let AN, so $sign, always remember that if you want to type a symbol or an equation within inline, okay? So let AN, so I put A, and then the in this is just, you have to click on shift and then minus, like underscore. Basically, it's just underscore N. So let AN be a sequence, full stop. Then I want to run it, and you see it's right here. Let AN be a sequence. So this is how to put subscript. You just put underscore. Now, you may want your subscript to be a little more like, you don't want just one line to be inside. You want plenty stuff. So I want to put let AN be a sequence, and I want the AN to have the regular stuff of N inside capital N somewhere. So if I want a bigger stuff, I can put underscore for subscript. Then I open a curly brackets and I type whatever I want inside those curly brackets. So let's say N in, so in capital N. So I will just type it this way, and then I will run it. So you see right here, let AN be in capital N. So what I'm saying in essence is that when you want to create a subscript, you put in underscore, you open the curly bracket, you type whatever you want to be, to figure on the inside the subscript, and then you close the curly bracket. So here I had N in capital N, and this is what came out. Now, of course, you can notice that I put a new command here, slash in. Slash in is for this in symbol to come in. That's it. That's why I just put slash in. Okay, so it's just for that in symbol to come in. So you can see right here, slash in is for this in symbol to come in. Okay, all right. I'm done with, okay, so now it remains superscript. So if I want to type x squared plus 5 is equal to 8, so another equation, x squared. So x squared is going to be shift, and then you're going to put this stuff like right here. I think they call it a maybe a kiplet or something, I don't know. Okay, so it's this stuff here. So this is for upper script. So x squared plus 5 is equal to 6. Okay, then let me type it for you to see right here. X squared plus 5 is equal to 6. So that's for upper script. So it's just that stuff. Now, of course, if you want many things to be inside your upper script, then you put curly brackets. And whatever is inside the curly brackets will be there. So if I want x raised to power 2x minus 5, and I want that 2x minus 5 to be up, you can see I put them between curly brackets, and you see right here, that's what comes out. So that's just it. Okay, so I've done subscript, I've done superscript. Now, if you want to type, say, we want to go a little bit further to talk about, say you want to type a more, we're talking about delimiters. That means we want to, like, let's say you want to have something more like big, like I want to type a formula. Now let me just go to Word to tell you what I want to type so that you can see what I want to type. Now let's assume that I want to type the following. Okay, so just a minute. Let's, I want to just show you what I want to type. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so imagine I want to type this formula. 1 plus x divided by 2 plus y raised to power 3, and then everything squared. Okay, so I'm doing this because basically we know how we've talked about all this. Okay, so this is what I want to type. 1 plus x over 2 plus y raised to power 3, everything raised to power 2. Now, already you know how to do a fraction, but now I want to talk about how to bring these large brackets. That's the why I'm talking about delimiter, so like big brackets. Okay, so now this is the formula that I want to type. I'm going back to LaTeX for you to see how I'm going to type it. So right here, I want it to be, let's say, in a displayed equation. So for it to be a displayed equation, remember, double dollar sign to start, double dollar sign to end. Okay, so, and whatever I want to type, I can type it in here, and yeah. So right here, I remember I want to have those big brackets. So to have big brackets, you have to type slash left, then brackets, then slash right, then brackets. This would give you big brackets, slash left bracket, that's for the left bracket, slash right bracket, that's for the large bracket. So what that means is going to be a very big bracket. These are going to be big brackets. And whatever you're going to put inside would fit the brackets we actually, those things will fit inside this bracket. So now I want to type that equation. So you remember it's a fraction. So for it to be a fraction, I'm going to type slash dfrac. Remember I said that I wanted frac to be, dfrac is bigger. Then I'm going to open the first curly brackets. And remember, whatever is in this first curly bracket are going to be, is what's going to be in the numerator. In the numerator, I had 1 plus x. So I type 1 plus x. That's within the first pair of curly brackets. When I'm done, I open a second pair of curly brackets, and then I type something inside. And what was inside is 2 plus y raised to power 3. Now, raised to power, that's the upper script. So remember, it's this stuff. In my keyboard, I press Shift 6. So wherever it is on your keyboard, and then raised to power 3. So you can see slash dfrac, open the curly brackets for the numerator, close the curly brackets, open another pair for the denominator, and I'm done. But remember, everything was raised to power 2. That means after the bracket, I had raised to power 2. So this is the first bracket, the left one, the right one, and after that, I want everything to be raised to power 2. So I take superscript, that stuff up, and then I take 2. Let me play it to see how it works. You see, this is how it comes out. Okay. So not so difficult. It's not so difficult. This is how it comes out. Then it comes out in a very nice way. Okay, very nice way. So that's it. Again, so you can see it's right here. Slash left, open the bracket. Type whatever I want to type. Slash right, close the bracket. And then inside I had fractions. So slash dfrac, and then I put the numerator close. Put the denominator close. That's all. Nothing else. Okay. All right. So that's for big brackets. Of course, you can try the other types of stuff, but we get to that. Now, I want to talk about a set of dots. Let's say you want to type, so that's the next thing I want to talk about. I want to type something like this. So I want to type something like A1 plus A2 plus dot 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 plus AN, okay, because these are expressions in mathematics you get often. So that's why I want to type this, okay? So A1 plus A2 plus dot 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 plus AN. How do you type it? So that's what I want to type now, right here. So to type that, I want it to be displayed. I will put A subscript 1, right? Plus A subscript 2 plus. Now, some people will just write 3 dots like by clicking on dot, dot, dot. It's okay, it works, but the proper professional way is either to use slash dots, or you have other options. You have slash dots, you have slash C dots, and then you have slash L dots. So I'm going to write all of them for you to see. This is slash dots. Let me run it so that for you to see how it runs. You see A1 plus A2 plus slash slash dot 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 and then plus, I forgot to write the plus AN here, plus AN right here. Okay, that's it. All right, now if you don't want slash dots, if you don't like the way it comes, you can use C dots. So I'm going to repeat the same thing, but with C dots. So instead of slash dots, I'm going to do slash C dots. Basically going to be the same thing. Okay, same. Then you can, instead of C, you can have L dots. L dots is like low dots. That's going to give you those dots right on at the lowest part of the line. You can see. So notice the difference. One is level with the sum. The other one is like level with the ground floor, if I should call that, of the line. So slash C dots, slash dots, slash L dots. That's for a set of dots that they call ellipses, okay? All right, so I have a chart. I will see what that is. Okay, video. Okay, so that can be, the organizers will answer that, okay? All right. Now, let me move on to how to talk. Let's focus on integrals now, okay? Let's focus on integrals. Imagine I want to type, so I'm going to integrals now, and I want to type something on integrals. Now, imagine I want to type an integral like integral. This is what I want to type on text, from 0 to pi. Now, someone spoke about square root, so I would talk about that now. So I would say sine x divided by root x dx. Okay, this is what I want to type. I don't know if this integral is defined or not. That's not the issue, but this is what I want to type. I want to type integral from 0 to pi of sine x over root x dx. That's what I want to type. So please remember the formula. This is what we want to type. You can write it down, and then I'm going to go back to the LaTeX to start typing it. I don't know the formula myself, so let me write it down so that I will not forget. Integral from 0 to pi sine x over root x dx. I want to see how to type it on LaTeX. Okay. All right, to type it on LaTeX, so let me go right here. All right. Okay, so I want to be a display equation. So integral is slash int. That's it, slash int. Then just what comes at the bottom, like the lower bound of the integral, that's going to be like a subscript, so underscore. Then you put whatever you want in between the curly brackets. So in this case is 0. Then what the upper bound is superscript. Then in this case is pi. Now I will talk about Greek letters later, but pi on LaTeX is just slash pi. That's all. That's pi. Okay, and basically many Greek alphabet, that's how it's going to be. Slash alpha, slash beta, slash gamma, slash delta, slash, you know, psi, and all of that. So it's basically like that. Slash, and then you put the stuff, basically. Okay, so slash integral underscore 0, superscript pi. Then I want to type sine x over root x. Remember, that's in fraction. So I'm going to put slash frac. I'm going to use frac here, not defrac, just for, okay. Then the numerator is slash sine x. So, I mean, sine x, on LaTeX, just put slash sine. That's it. And then you put x, okay? So you see slash sine is to make your sign to come out well. If you just type S-I-N without the slash, it will come out, but it will not be nice. Okay, so slash sine, for it to come out well, then you give it a space, x. That's the numerator. The denominator, square root of x. So square root of x on LaTeX is just slash sqrt. So that's it. The question that was asked, that's how it is. Sqrt, and then you put what you want. So square root of x, so that's it, slash sqrt, you open the curly bracket, x, you close the curly brackets, That's it. But this closing of curly bracket is just for the square root. I still need to close, add another closing stuff for the close of the fraction of the denominator. So now I'm done. So, and then I have to put dx. Now you can type dx directly, or you can create a space. A space within the double dollar sign is going to be a slash and a comma. So notice this place, slash and comma, that's for space within an equation, okay? So it's just for it to come out nice. So this stuff, backslash with comma, that's just to create a space between the sine x over root x and the dx, nothing else. And then I'm going to close with a double dollar sign, never forget that, and I'm going to run. And when I run it, this is what comes out right here. See? Nice. Okay. So let me check for, okay, no questions yet. Okay, fine. So you see I typed slash sign. So let me just quickly mention, if you want cosine slash cos, if you want exponential slash exp, if you want, so that's under operators. Okay, so we talk about that. So basically it works like that. Okay, now let me check for charts. Okay, well done. Okay, all right. Okay, so now let me move on to math accents. Okay, so just for you to see. Now, math accents, like basically in mathematics, you know that you have things like this. You have things like, so I want to type what I want to write. You have things like you want to type, let's say, X bar, okay? Or you want to type something like X hat, or you want to type something like X tilde, and then, or you want to type, let's say, vector X. Well, okay, so just for you to see, right? Anything you want. It doesn't have to be X. It could be OA, you know, whichever, like angles, you know, whatever you want. All right. Now I want to type all these, okay? So I will start with bar, then with hat, then with tilde, then with vector. Okay, so it's basically, it's still basic, right? It's still basic. Okay, so let me try to type right here. So X, the one that has a bar is going to be slash BAR, then X. Okay, then that's a space. This is a space. The one that has to do with hat slash hat, HAT, then X, then slash and then comma. The one that has to do with tilde, that's slash tilde, then X, whatever comes in, okay? Then this is also, this is another space, nothing else. And then the one that has to do with vector slash VEC slash vec X. That's all. Okay, let me run it for you to see. And this is how it comes out right here. Okay, so it's so small. I mean, it's just for you to see how to do it, nothing else. Okay, so you see how it comes out. So just slash bar, slash hat, slash tilde, slash vec. Those are things that are useful in maths. Okay. There's an article template. Yes, there's an article. Just go to the website, eCapta.unilag.edu.ng. That's the website. You can help me to type it too. Yeah, that's it. All right. Now let me move to matrices. Okay, that gets interesting. I want to type a matrix, and I want it to be very, let's say, straightforward. Okay, so imagine I want a matrix. I want to write the matrix I want to type for you to see. Imagine I want to write the following matrix. I want to write matrix, let's say x plus 1, 3, let's say 5, and let's say, I don't know, x. Let me just take simple things. Okay, x plus 1, 3, 5x. Okay, so just note this is what I want to do. I want to write this on LaTeX. Okay, just to write this. Okay, so let's just look at the formula. Let me write it down. It's what I want to write. X plus 1, 3, 5x. Of course, you can write as many as you want. So you will see how to do that. All right. So to do that, I'm coming here. And this time around, so I'm going to use $sign again. $sign again. So I'm going to type whatever I want to figure. Now, I will start with /begin matrix. So that's the main thing. /begin matrix. That's the command. And then /begin matrix. And then I will type what I want at the first. So the first was x plus 1. So I just type x plus 1. When I want to move to the other one, I will type end, this end sign. You can see the sign here, end. Then 3. Then I want to go to the next line. The next line is this a double backslash. And then 5. And then end x. That's all. You can end it right away. So this is /end matrix. Okay, and of course this is my $sign. So remember the double $sign /begin matrix x plus 1 and 3 / 5 and x /end matrix, and then that's it. Okay, let me run to see how it works. And this is how it comes out. You see, x plus 1, 3, 5x. Well, there's something that is conspicuously missing. These are the brackets. Well, they are missing because I've not yet put the brackets. So I will show you how to put the brackets. Now, let me check the chart for a question. How do we number equations? Okay, I'll come to the numbering of equations too. Okay, so this is /begin matrix. All right, now if I want there to be like brackets, because regularly matrices are in brackets, well, I can have /p matrix. So instead of begin matrix, it will be /begin p matrix. So /end p matrix. This will give me square brackets. Let me run it for you to see. Okay, it gave me curly brackets. Okay, I mean regular brackets if you wish. That's for P stuff. Now, of course, you have other or alternatives, but basically, I will just limit myself with this one /begin P matrix. And of course, never forget to end it with /end P matrix. All right. So I think that's all for matrix. Matrices, you can type as many. So if you want your matrix to be bigger, don't be scared. Now, if I want a 3x4 matrix, let me just add anything. So this is 8. So I will just add and 7, 5. Okay, let me just stop here. This is a 3x2 or whichever you call it. Okay, you see, so it's just by adding. So anytime you have that end, it gives you it takes you to the next column. That's all. Okay, all right. I'm done with matrices. And again, these matrices. Okay, so I think I'll move on. I've spoken about operators before. I will just remind you about operators. You know, you have operators in tech. Let's just say operators can be, some operators are, some operators. Okay, so you have /sign for sign. Okay, let me just continue here. You have /cosine. You have /exponential. You have /lim_sup. Oh, so we get to lim_sup. Okay, so I'll get to that. You have say, okay, let me just stop here. Okay, so this goes on, let's say /arc sine. Okay, etc. All right, let me just run it for you to see. Okay, you see, sine, cosine, exponential, arcsine. Okay, so you can have you have many other functions follow the same process. Now, I want to talk about lim sup now because that happens a lot in analysis, and I want to show you what I want to type for you to know. So I want to type something like lim. Or let me just say limit for now of f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h. So this is limit as h tends to 0. And of course, we know this is equal to f prime of a. Okay, I hope so. All right. Okay, so I want to type this derivative. Okay, so we know the formula. Let me just go straight to the LaTeX. This is what I want to type. I'm typing it basically just to show you how the limit works. Limit is just slash lim. That's all. So let me open a display stuff. I've been using double dollar sign a lot. So let me use the other one, which is slash and this. Okay, so now f prime of a, the prime, you just type prime regularly as though you're typing with the word. F prime of a is equal to, then limit, like I said, is slash lim, then underscore, then you put what you want. So h tends to 0, that would be h slash 2 0. So you can see here, tends to is slash 2. That's all. Tend to is slash 2. Okay. So this, and then it was in a fraction. Let me use diffraction. So this is diffract. Then in the numerator, you had f of a plus h minus f of a. And then in the denominator, you just had h. Okay, and then I should never forget to close it. So that's by a backslash and a square bracket. So let me run it. And you see right here, you have a nice looking formula. Of course, you can, if you want lim sup is slash lim sup. That's all. Lim inf is slash lim inf. That's all. Okay. Now you can want to have the maximum. Imagine I want to type something like, imagine I want to type something like maximum of 3 and minimum of, I don't know, just imagining anything, f of x, okay, where x is in 0, 1. So this is a little, I just want to complicate a little bit, okay? So this is what I want to type, max 3, min f of x, where x is in 0, 1. So just quickly note that so that you will know what I'm doing. So max 3, min f of x, when x is in 0, 1. Obviously, I'm assuming that, okay. I don't really care about if it's mathematically correct or not. Okay, so let me go to the equation. So max is just slash max. That's what I'm saying. That's just it. Slash max. Min, of course, is slash min. Sup slash sup. Inf slash inf. That's all. Okay, so now slash max. Then remember the brackets were a little big. So I want a big bracket. So if I want a big bracket, so now this is very important. Remember how to do a big bracket, slash left. And then you want the bracket. Now, curly brackets are special character. It's a special character because it's used in in LaTeX commands. So if you want that curly bracket to appear on your LaTeX, you can just type curly brackets, because if you just type that, it will not appear. So for that if you want that curly bracket to appear, you have to type a slash and then your curly brackets. Now that's very important. I repeat. Curly brackets are used for commands. For example, where you have slash begin, you open your curly bracket, center, you close your curly bracket. So because of that, if you just type a curly bracket and you want that curly bracket to appear on your PDF, it will not work if you just type it all alone. So to make that curly bracket to appear on your PDF and not as a command, then you have to type slash and then backslash and with a curly bracket for it to appear. So slash left, that's to make it big, slash curly bracket, then I will have 3, then remember it was minimum, so slash min. Then remember I wanted x being 0, 1 to be as a subscript, so this is subscript. Then I have x slash in, that's in, then 0, 1, then I close it. Then I have f of x. Then I close I want the curly bracket to appear at the end, so that's another slash and curly bracket. Remember, that's because I want it to appear. And then I want to, okay, so, and I wanted it to be a big curly bracket. Remember, I had slash left here with this big curly bracket. Then I want to close it. So when you want to close it, you have to close it with slash right. That's very important. If not, there will be an error. So slash right, then slash, then the curly bracket. And then I should never forget to close the display environment with a backslash with this stuff. Let me run it and let's see what it will give us. Oh, something nice and something beautiful. Okay. Of course, if I did not put slash left, slash right, let me remove slash left for you to see, because it will still come out, but it will not be nice. If I don't put slash left and I don't put slash right, this is how it will come out. Yeah, see, it's not nice. It's just so smallish, and yeah. So slash left, slash right, those are very important things to make your text beautiful. So let me introduce backslash left and then slash right. I run it, and there it goes. Beautiful. All right, okay. So let me go on. I'm done talking about operators. I've spoken about Greek letters. I will just quickly rephrase that. So Greek letters, you have alpha, so that's just slash alpha, that's all. Beta, that's slash beta, that's all. Slash gamma, right? Slash delta, etc. Okay, so I won't go on, but I have those kind of letters. Yeah. You see them, alpha, beta, gamma. Okay, so you have epsilon. Now there are some stuffs like this is epsilon. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, so I can go on and on, but that's it. All right, now that's for Greek letters. Now I think I need to mention, I've spoken about square roots already. Okay. So now let's talk about equations, because and then it's now time to talk about equations and how to number equations. Now, depending on the format you're using, but generally, so right here, if you want to have an equation and you want it to be numbered, and this is, pay attention, imagine I want to have this equation. So I want to type what I'm like, okay, so all right, so I want to type an equation like this. So I want to type something like x squared plus 1 is equal to 0, and I want to number it equation 1, for example. Now, there are many ways, so it's not just one way. So there are many ways of numbering. I'm going to pick the one that is quite simple. So I'm going back to my text. Okay, so now for equation, slash begin equation, and that's very important. When you put slash begin equation, of course, you know that it will end with slash end equation. And then whatever you're putting, put it in between. So x squared plus 1 is equal to 0. Slash begin equation slash end equation. I will run it. And then automatically it numbers the stuff for me. It gives me a numbering. Now, of course, there are some questions like, what if you don't want it to be 1, you want it to be 1 point something? Now that depends on the format of the like the journal, you know, to which you're submitting your article. So I don't think you should really worry about that. Slash begin equation slash end equation will give you a number, definitely, and to be an automatic numbering. Okay, so I have a chat here. I want to quickly respond. Okay, so that's a question. All right. Okay. So, okay, so now that's it. So x squared plus 1 is equal to 0. This is what it gives me. It's automatic. Now, I want to mention something very beautiful here, is that you may want to refer to this equation. And imagine you type in a lot of things and you don't want to get lost. And you know that, if you include some equations later, the numbering may change. So how do you not bother about that? Well, this is my first equation. So besides slash begin equation, I'm going to put slash label. And then I'm going to write the label, anything I want the equation to be remembered as. So imagine I want it to be my first equation. Anything you want it. So I type my first. Let me just type my first within the label. Nothing will come out. This is just slash label. I open the bracket. I close the bracket. My first. Then I'm running it. I press typeset right here. You see, it doesn't change. Nothing changes, right? But now I want to call the equation within the text. So now I will now say from equation, and I don't want to type 1, because if I type 1 and later I insert another equation, I may be lost. So not to keep a track on the equation number, I can just keep a track on the label. So I want to call this equation. So to call it, since I've labeled it, I will just put slash equation from equation, then I will put slash ref, like reference. Then I'm referring to first. So slash, this is the label, my first, so my first. So from equation, this equation, we have that, whatever. So now, I will run it for you to see how it works. Oh, nice. From equation 1. Now, you see, it didn't come with the bracket. So if you want it to come with the bracket, of course, you start with the bracket before ref and you end bracket after. Let me run it again for it to be within brackets. You see, within brackets. And depending on the format on the template you're using, the eCapital template is nice, because if I want to find equation 1, I just need to click on it and it will take me to equation 1. Oh, so you see there are many, it's taking me to this equation, x plus square plus 1 equals to 0. Okay, it's because that's labeled my first. Okay. All right. So that's it. So this is how to get equations and within automatic numbering. And if you want to remember the equations, slash label. And then you label it whatever you want, but when you're recalling it on the text, it's slash ref. That's all. Okay? All right. Now, I'm done with equations, basically. Now, if you don't want your equation to be numbered, if you don't want this equation 1 to be numbered, then, and you still want, of course, I mean, maybe you don't want a label, because if you don't want a number, you don't want a label, obviously. So if I don't want this equation, so let me not change this. Let me just keep it the way it is. So if I don't want an equation to be numbered, then I can type slash begin equation, and then I put a star. So if I put slash begin equation star slash end equation star, this will give me more or less like a display formula environment. That's all. So x squared plus 5 Let me just type that and then I will run it. Okay, just comes out this stuff. So if I put slash begin equation star slash end equation star, no numbering. But if I want it to be numbered, I don't add the star. Okay, that's all. All right, now that's for equations. Now, let me talk about some. Now, you may want your equations to be a little more complicated, and that's to talk about alignments. Like I want to type an equation like I want to talk about aligned formulas. So imagine that I want to type the following equation on LaTeX. Imagine I want to type an equation like r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. And at the same time, I want to type something like u of v plus u is equal to 5, whatever you want, or 5 alpha. So this is squared and this is alpha. Just imagine I want to write this. Now, this is what I want to write. Okay, so it's aligned. Like the beauty is that you have the equality signs are aligned, you know, and that's a good thing. You just don't want your equations to be scattered. And I want this one to be an equation and it's aligned. Okay, so to align, that's how I want to start now. So, okay, so I leave that, and then I come back to the main LaTeX stuff. Oh my, okay, so where am I? I'm right here. Okay, so I would type slash begin align. That's to align it. Slash begin align. Then remember I had, so just remember the first formula was r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. So r squared, this is it, r squared. Now is equal to, I want the equality to be aligned. So what I want to be, since I want that to be aligned, I will start with this sign, this end sign, then I will type equal. So that end gives it an alignment. So r squared end sign equal to x squared plus y squared. Then I move to the next line. Remember the next line is this. All right, so the next line was, say v plus u is equal to 5 alpha. So v plus u, remember I wanted the equality sign to be, signs to be aligned. So this would be end equal to 5 alpha, right? So 5 slash alpha. Okay, I'm done, slash end align. Okay, and then I run. And I run, you see? Yeah, you see the equality sign is aligned. So now slash begin align slash end align is to align all these equations, but and give them numbers. Align all these equations and give them numbers. That means that the first line has a number, the second line has a number. So that's what slash begin align slash end align does. So remember the format, slash begin align, you write what you want, then end. Okay, so of course it doesn't have to be equality. If you don't want equality, if you want it to be greater than, run it. You see it to be great, you have the greater than sign. Now, just to mention, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, how do they write it in LaTeX? Well, that's just slash GEQ. That's for greater than or equal to. Then for less than or equal to, that's just slash LEQ, less than or equal to. So that's just by the way. So of course you should know how to do that. Okay, see, something like this. All right. Okay. Okay, I hope everything so far. Yeah, I hope I'm not too slow. It seems I am. Okay. All right. So that's just for begin. That's to align align stuff. Now, let's see, maybe we want to align, let's have an equation. Let me type another equation that I want to do that may require that. So imagine I want to type something like h of x is equal to the integral of, say, f of x dx, which is equal to the integral of g of x dx. So imagine this is what I want to type. Okay, so basically the difference is that there is a space here. Okay, like there's nothing there. Okay, all right, let me go back to text. This is what I want to type. Going back. So before I do that, I would quickly check the chat. Okay, how do we reduce longer equations? And okay, all right. It's okay. So I will get to how to reduce longer equations, but yeah, I'll get there. So if I want to type what I just typed, slash begin align, then I have h of x, then you have this equals to integral, remember integral is slash int of f of x dx. Remember this one just means space command. And then after that, this one means the next line. And then I will have a space, then I will have this stuff, this one is end, and then equals integral of g of x, this is a space command, dx. I'm done, so slash end align, that's it. Try to see what happens, and you see it runs. But again, like I said, it gives you numbers. Now, if you don't want numbers, if you just want your equation to have just one number, so that's, there are kind of like many ways to do it, but let me quickly try if I put align star. So I don't want 4 and 5. I don't want it to have any number. Okay, so if I put align star here, and I put align star here, then, okay, so the numbers disappear altogether. So if you're using slash begin align star, the number disappear altogether. Now, if you want this to have just one numbering, that means you want to number this whole stuff, you want it to be equation, let's say 4, then I think that the best thing would just be for you to ditch the align whatever. There may be a way out for, but then the best thing is not to talk about align, but it's to talk about something else. So, and that's what I want to talk about, is by talking about slash begin equation. So I would start with slash begin equation, then slash end equation, and then I would add something else, and which would be slash begin array. So you can just note them down. Slash begin array, I'm going to put LCL. Okay, slash begin array, LCL. So of course I will have slash end array, but without the LCL. Okay, then I will type whatever I have here, HX, and then the same thing, equals to integral of f of x dx, then equals to integral of g of x dx. Okay, so let's see how it works. Well, not so good, but you see, right? Same common expression, like it's a common number. To make this better, I can add a stuff here, like an end sign after the equality. Maybe that will make it better. Let me try. Yeah, something like that. So, but it doesn't come out as nice as the begin. It doesn't come out as the align star, but it does the job because I mean, yeah. I mean, I can make my integrals bigger. If you want to make your integrals bigger, I think you can put DINT. Let me try that. I think so. If I put DINT, let me see. I hope it works. So there's nothing like that. So you see, that was. So I think you need to type display. So I won't do that. I won't do that. I mean, yeah, so for now, let me just stick with this. Okay, so that's how you have a common equation that you want to have many lines, but you want to have one number. But if you don't want to have one number, you want to have many numbers, then it's better to just stick with a line. All right. Okay, so I'm more or less done with, okay, so now the next kind of equations I would like to talk about is equations that have to do with cases. So, because that's also something that comes up often. All right, now let me go here. I want to type something. All right, so imagine I want to type something like this. I want to type something like f of x is equal to, so this is like for the absolute value, is equal to x if x is greater or equal to 0, and minus x if x is less than 0. Okay, something like that. It doesn't always have to be this, or yeah. Okay, so I can use cases for this one. I can use cases. So I would, so f of x equal to x if x is greater or equal to 0, negative x if x is less than 0. Okay, let me try that. Yeah. Okay, so the ampersand is the end, okay, is for what in the equations. Okay, so the end, this end stuff is basically for alignment. So once you put end this way, the next thing that you will put after the end would be aligned. Like it's just like there is a gap. Now, notice right here, you have h of x is equal to, you see there's a little gap between the h of x and the equal, and anything you put after the, the, um, the end sign is going to be aligned. So even on the next line, if I put this end stuff and I put equal to after, you see it's aligned with the first. Yes, that's basically what it is all about. It's just to align the whole thing. Yeah, and the end after the equality also is just to align. So it's just like a repetition basically, but somehow, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think that answers the question. All right, now remember what I want to type. I'm typing cases. So I would try to just put it in a display equation environment. Now, so I will type f of x is equal to, so that whole thing, you just start with slash begin cases. So that's it, slash begin cases. So f of x is equal to slash begin cases. And then you type the cases. So the first case is x, comma, if, so you put end, and then you put a text, if, let's just put everything within the text, $ x is greater than or equal to 0. Then I go to the next line. You see this stuff here is to signify the next line. And then I can have negative x, that's just minus x. Then comma, okay, so let me just go here so that I cannot lose. Let me just put them here so that you will not get confused. So I go to the next one, negative x, then this one, slash text. Text is for you to type. If x is less than 0. Now, before I run this, okay, let me just quickly run it for you to see. Oh, so it didn't work. It didn't work because, so it's blocked. How do I know it's stuck? Nothing comes out. Nothing is coming out. That's number one. Number two, if you check the bottom page, you can see something is stuck. It's asking me with a question mark, so that means it's stuck. It's telling me that at line 84, there's an issue. And where is line 84? Is somewhere here. This is line 84. And why is there an issue? Is because I started with slash begin cases, but I didn't end it. So I needed to put slash end cases to end. So that's it. Now, if I run it this time around, oh, still not going. Oh, so there's something again, there's something wrong. Okay, so it's telling me I've forgotten $sign. Oh, you see, it's telling me I've forgotten $sign. You can see there's extra, it's telling me there's extra, and then there's either an extra this or a forgotten $sign at line 184. So this is 184. You can see I forgot the $sign right here. So I'll put $sign. Then I will try to run it again. It works well now. And you see, this is what it gives me. Okay, so, but let's look at what I did. I had slash begin cases, then I put the first thing, then I have the end, then I have slash text, and whatever I'm putting within that will come out as a text. And since it's going to come out as a text, that's why I had to put $sign right here, because it's within the text inside the slash text. So that's very important. Okay, so something like that. Okay, something like that. All right. Okay, so I'm done with the cases. And of course, if you want to have many cases, then you just keep going on and going on and going on. So it's not just limited to 2 stuff. You can have many lines as you wish. Okay. Is there any other thing I've not yet done? All right. Now, that's basically how to type equations. Yeah, that's basically how to type equations. Okay, so I think at this point I would pause and I'll give time for questions. You can please type your questions, and yeah, and then before we'll try to see how to write maybe like more serious equations, and maybe just talk about the references. Okay, is it slash GEQ, not GEG? That's greater than or equal to. So that's slash GEQ. Q for Q, right? Yeah. Yeah, or Q for Qatar, whichever way. Yeah. So, okay. Any other question? Any other question?
So what about referencing?
Yes. Okay. So that's the next thing I would like the I assume that your question is about the references in the bibliography, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I will talk about that. Yeah, I will talk about that as soon as I resume. Yeah. Okay. Can we import symbols from other sources? Yes, you can. You can. Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, you can import from other sources, but you just have to be careful that when you're importing the symbols, you put the $sign, and you have to be careful. For example, it's not all signs that will appear. Remember, I spoke about the curly brackets. If you just type curly bracket, like let's say you're copying from Word, and you just copy it and you paste, and you have curly brackets, there'll be a problem. LaTeX will not recognize it. So that's why you have to go over them little by little to make sure that LaTeX recognize them. In the case of curly brackets, you know that you have to add a slash so that it can appear. So when you are copying from somewhere and just to paste, you have to be very, 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 very careful. Sometimes some people copy minus, and then there are some issues. So you have to be careful when you're copying. If not, you will have some errors in your LaTeX document. Okay, so another person is asking, do you type in text directly or from a handwritten note? Well, it depends on how. When you're used to LaTeX, it's good to type with LaTeX directly. Like, who has time to type, to write first and then type? So once you have the equations, like you know the equations you want to type, and you're already used to it, then you can type directly. Now, for a start, it may be difficult. So you may want to first write down the equation you want, especially maybe if the equation is very long, and then take it bit by bit. And a person asked how to type long equations. So I will just randomly type a very long equation and tell you how to type it on LaTeX. So I just think it's by level of expertise. If you're very good at LaTeX, you can type your equations directly. If not, you can write them down somewhere, handwritten, and then you type them bit by bit until you're done. So yeah, okay. But I would give you examples of long equations immediately as I resume. Okay, now how do we import graphs from Excel and R? Okay, I will talk about graphs and how do we include graphs or pictures. I will talk about that. So, and how do we handle tables? Okay, so that's nice. So I will talk about long equations. I will talk about graphs. I will talk about tables, and then, I mean, graphs and pictures, talk about tables, and finally, I will talk about references like style they could be asked for. Okay. All right, okay, so I think I can just talk about these things and move on. Now, I want to just look for a very long equation, just a very long equation. So I don't know, I want to just look for a long equation that maybe is somewhere so that I will not just be giving trivial equations. So let me look for.
Sorry, sir. I want to
Yes.
ask, are we
Okay.
having the whole lecture at a stretch, or we are going to have a short break, then come back?
Okay. Anything you say, anything you say, yes, because this is past 11. So anything you say, I don't know what the class prefers. We can have at a long stretch and end by 12 or
Okay.
12:30 and we're done. I think maybe
Okay.
that's better, but I don't
I
know
think
if.
I think it's better.
Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you. All right. Now, I'm looking for a long equation. That's what I'm looking for. So I don't know. Any long equation. Or maybe I should just create one. I don't know. Let me try to see if I can get just one long equation from anywhere. Okay. You know what? I'll just create one. Um, I'll just create one. Okay. So basically, if you want equations, like just take them bit by bit. Okay, so just imagine you have that, let's say norm. So right here, you have norm of, say xn, sorry, minus xm is equal to norm of xn. I mean, it's less than or equal to this, um, plus xn plus 1 minus xn plus 2. So forgive my writing, plus dot 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 plus xm minus 1 minus xm. Okay, so imagine I have something like this and I want to continue. Okay, so I want to continue and I want to have it again less than or equal to, and then give some expressions, say an norm. Okay, so let's just say an plus 1 plus dot 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 plus am minus 1 and then brackets, let's say alpha. Okay, just something like this. So you can see the idea is just if no matter how long it is, you can break them, and I will now start. So just have an idea, just to have an idea. Now, I want it to be just one equation, so I will just have slash begin equation, slash begin equation. So let me reduce this, then slash end equation. All right, so remember how to, separate these stuffs. So I will use slash begin array because I want it to have just one number. That's why. If I don't want it to have one number, I would have used slash begin align. Okay, so slash begin array LCL, then slash end array. All right, so now whatever comes to the left, you type it. Now norm, how to type norm on LaTeX, you just type this backslash and then absolute value. So backslash and absolute value, that will give you norm. So xn minus xm, okay? Then I want to align it, so that's why I'm going to put end. Remember that that's to align it less than or equal to. Then I want to align again what's left, so that's why I added another end. It's not compulsory you add another end, but I love adding another end so it can be always aligned. So then I will start with norm of xn, let's say minus xn plus 1, like this, something like this, plus norm of xn plus 1 minus xn plus 2. That was a blunder. Okay, all right. Plus, then the dot dot dots, I will use C dots. Then x m minus 1 minus x m. Okay, something like this. That's the first line. And then this stuff is to go to the next line. And then there was nothing in the left, so I will just go with end, then less or equal to, and then whatever is at the right. So that's, in this case, just for illustration, an plus an plus 1 plus c dots plus a raised to power m minus 1, something like this, and then alpha. Okay, that's all. Then I run it, and this is what it gives me right here. Now, I want to add more so that it will be a very long one so that I can answer the question, because this is exactly not a long equation. So if I want to add more, and I would add more right here for this xn, I would start talking about xn plus 2 and xn plus 3. So let me add xn plus 2, xn plus 2 minus xn plus 3, then plus xn plus 3, just for me it to be long, minus xn plus 4. Okay, now this seems to be long. Now let me run it. Oh, okay, not so long, it's still going. Let me add the last term. Okay, so let me add the last term because that will be quite long. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, I like this. Okay, you can see it's not nice. Like it's just not nice. Okay, so the simplest way for me, I feel, the simplest way is just to break it. You see, this is xn minus 1, xn minus 2. You just notice where it stops before it starts exceeding this stuff. You see it exceeds here. So why can't I break it here instead of this? So after n plus 3 minus n plus 4, xn plus 4, this other thing, I should take it to the other line. So I have to detect where that is. So right here on the source 5, after xn plus 3 minus xn plus 4, I will not allow this stuff to be on this line. So I would send it down. Now, even if I do this, I've not done anything because, like I've explained before, you need to have all those double slash. So right here, I will put double slash. That's to break the line. Then, since I want to continue, there should be nothing on the left. So I'm going to put end. Then there's not going to be less or equal to. So I'm going to put end again. Remember, end less or equal to end was to produce this alignment. So when there is nothing, I don't want this less or equal to occur, I don't put anything. So end without the less or equal to end, and then I can now put this one. Let me run it for you to see how it works. Can you see how it works? So that's how you break it. So, and that's the advantage of putting end. Then you put the operator you want to put and another end. So that if your equation is very long, you can break it. How can you break it? You just put double slash. Then you go to the next line. You put end, end, without that equal to or that less or equal to. And then you continue with the stuff. This is how what it gives. Now, of course, you may feel that it's too, like it's too crumpled. You want to create some space. No problem. Instead of double slash, you can add another double slash. That's 2 lines. Instead of double slash, another double slash. That's 2 lines. If I run it, you can see it gives it some space. So that's it. That's how you break a long equation. And no matter what, if you use slash begin array LCL, I think it handles quite a lot of equations, if not, I mean, quite a lot of equations. Okay, so now I'm done with equations. Let me talk about graphs, right? So the best way is to save your graph. Like let's say you're taking your graph from, say, R or whatever, is to try to save your graph. And you save your graph where your LaTeX file is. And then you now add it as a picture. I am not saying there are not other ways. I'm just like teaching you a way that works. So now imagine I have a graph and I want to save, I should save that graph in the folder where my LaTeX document is before I can now include it on my LaTeX. Now, let me just go to Google, go on Google and just find a graph. Okay, so graph of, I don't know, f of x is equal to x squared. I don't know. Images. Okay, so imagine I've saved them. Okay, so just imagine this is saved. So I want to save it. So save image as. Okay, so I want to save it. So if you're working on whatever you're working on, just save it. So right here, I'm working on LaTeX courses. So save it where the file, where your LaTeX document is, where the document you're running is. That's very important. So, and then with the name you can remember. Okay, so then just use graph, that's all. And then of course, note the type. This is a PNG image. Okay, so I save and it's saved. Okay, so it's saved on my laptop. Now I go to my text file and I want to introduce it. So right here, what I would do is that I would start with slash begin figure. Sorry. So slash begin figure. Okay. Then after that, this figure, it has, you can put different things. I will put H. I think H just means right here, like if you put the figure there, because sometimes if you don't put H, what happens is that your figure can, the graph that you're including can just jump somewhere. Like LaTeX can automatically fix the picture somewhere. Now, when you put H, you want that picture to come exactly where you're putting it. Okay. All right. So slash begin figure, so H. Then if you want it to be centered, no problem. Slash begin center or centering, whichever you want. Okay, it's not compulsory. Then this is now the composite part. Slash include graphics. This is the composite part, slash include graphics. And then you're going to open this stuff, of course, the curly bracket, and you're going to type that graph. So remember, I saved it as graph. So I'm going to type graph .png. Nothing says I should put .png, but since it was a .png image, I'm putting graph.png. Then I'm done. Then I continue with a caption. So caption is what you want that is the graph to be. So slash caption, like the title of the caption of the graph, right? So I will say, this is the graph of f of x is equal to x squared. Okay, so this is just a text. Whatever you're typing under caption is a text. After slash caption, if you want slash label. Slash label is for you to, like I said, to refer to that graph. So I can say my first graph. Okay, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm done, then slash end figure. So you see, this is very important. So I'll put it as comment, important. Of course, it's here is important too, the figure part. So whatever I type here, it doesn't matter. This label is not compulsory, so optional. If you want to label it, fine. The caption, not so compulsory, optional, but good. Okay, so this is the main command to include the picture. So this is to include picture. All right, so now let me run. Let me click it. Let me run, and then pop, it runs. Oh, it has an issue. It has an issue. Okay, so maybe let me remove the .png. I don't know. Okay, maybe .png is, oh. Okay, so there may be something. So let me quickly check if everything is fine. Okay, strange. Okay, so let me go back to my picture. So it's right here, and it's saying, what is it saying? So it's giving me that there's a problem. It's saying that to include, oh. Oh, okay, that's strange. I don't know. Let me just try it. Okay. Okay, so maybe strange though. Okay, let me go back to where I typed it. Maybe because I didn't save. Maybe I am not on the page. I didn't save the picture there, so I have to make sure that it's there. So let me check my file, and that's very important. I go back to where my file is. I want to see where I'm working from. And you see, that's the thing. I was working from eCapta templates. This is where I was working from. This is my file, my text file, and this is the PDF. You see, the problem is that I went to save this is where I went to save my image is here. This is it. I saved it under latex courses, and you see the latex is not able to see it because it's on a different folder. So I'm going to copy this, and instead of putting it here, I'm going to put it right where the latex document is, and that's very important. So right here, it has to be inside within the same folder of the document you're running. If not, yeah, you get this kind of error. Well, that's good. Now I'll click on stop, then I will run it this time around, and I'm sure it will run beautifully. Okay, so now this is the other one that like I've explained before. So that's because, again, like I said, figure 1 is not there. So I'll quickly go and change that. I'm not here, but let me just remove this thing out of the way so that, okay, it cannot be disturbing me anymore. All right, so I'm back to my picture. So this is where I was. Then I will run it. And yeah, this is where it comes out. So it's in the next page. This is the graph right here. So you see, it's very important that you save your graph inside the folder. Like, that's so important. I can't overstress that. And that's how you save it. So I think it's good to just kind of like save the file. If you're working on Excel or on R, try to save the file, save it on the folder, and then call it, and it works like that. Now you can always scale your graph, right? I think you can scale your graph. I think you can add commands like scale equals, let's say, like if this one is too big, scale equals to 0.5, right? You can scale your graph. You can add some other things, and you see it will scale it to make the graph smaller. You can expand it, so you can put some other options here, but you know, it's not so compulsory. But if you want the graph without any scaling, then you do it in the first place. But if you want scaling, and scaling is good because you can have a very huge picture and you don't want it to be too huge. You want it to fit in whatever, wherever, and so this is how you put it. Okay, so I think that answers the question on how to include graphics. And this capital H again, like I said, that's to put the picture here, like to put it wherever you're putting the picture on your code or your source. Now I'm done with long equations and graphs. I think I want to now talk about tables. Now, okay, so you can see right here is a table, so I'll just go there. So right here is a table. So this is how you type tables, this whole thing. So it's right here already on the format of eCapital, just for help, just to help. You see /begin center. Now /begin center /end center is not compulsory, but that's because you want to. That's because you want to make the table to be centered. That's all. Okay. Uh-oh. I think I clicked on something. All right, so this one is just to put the table at the center. So it's not necessary. It's not compulsory. Okay, now here is a caption of the table. You see, we type table 1. Table caption should be placed above the table. Now that depends on the journal. In eCapital, that's what we asked for, but in some other journals, they may not ask for that. But here, this caption comes out here. You can see it's right here, table 1. Table should be placed right here. And then /begin tabular. So this is also very important. That's to start the table. Of course, you have to have /end tabular. Now, /h line, that's the horizontal line. That's this first line here. This first line here, that's /h line. Then, before I start, now you have something like, you see here, this is L, this is L, this is L, this is L, this is L. If you count them, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's like to represent like what you're going to put, I think, to represent the number of lines you want. Okay, so line, 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 line. All right. And now you have, so maybe I should start a new table so that you can, let me just forget that. Let me start a new table. So now /begin, I'm starting a new table, center, to put it at the center. So /end center. All right, then /begin tabular. Again, there are many ways to write the table, by the way. So just for you, /end tabular. Okay, so now let me try to tell you the table I want to draw. Now, let me go to Word to show you the table I want to draw. The table I want to draw is this. I want to draw a table like this. Okay, so this is like the most basic table, right? And I want the year to be A, B, C, and then H, happy, and sad. Something like that. Okay, that's just that. So it's this is the table I want to draw. Okay, so that's like 1, 2, 3 columns and 2 lines. Okay. All right, so now I'm here and I want a line. So remember /H line, horizontal line. That's what it means. Okay, so the begin tabula, I've not yet completed it. So I would open a bracket here and I will start with this stuff. It's like absolute value sign. Then I can type L, then L, then L. Now, you can type as many as you want, right? Okay, so you can type as many as you want. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so now /H line. Now, remember the first stuff was A, so I will type A. Then to move to the next column is end. B, to move to the next column, end. C. When I'm done, this is to go to the next line. If I want an horizontal line, I will put /H line. Then I will type the next one. So the next one I had H, so I will type H. And now the other one was happy. So I can write happy, I can write whatever I want. I'm happy. And sad. Okay, I'm done. Then if you want the final H line, /H line. Okay, so this is a table, a very brief table, and then it runs right here. Now, not so great, but it does the job, right? Okay, so that's how we do a table. Now, of course, you always have this whole thing to work with. Okay, you have this whole thing to work with. Of course, you can have different things. For example, if you want this B and the ABC to be bold, you can put /text bold, text BF. Remember how I said it was to make it text bold /text BF, you know, something like this /text BF. Okay, that's something like this. Okay, and then you run it and it runs, you know, it makes it bold. You can do other things. Now, for example, if you do not want this H line here, if you don't want this line, then you remove H line. So here, instead of having H line, you remove it. If I don't want to delete it totally, I just put it in comments. So it will not affect anything now. I would run it. You will see that the line in the middle will go away. You see, it goes away. So you can play with that. So again, study the structure of the table and then see how you can work with it, and you will also be understanding some things. Now you can notice here, for example, you have /BF. BF also makes your text bold. Why did I prefer /text BF to /BF? Well, that's because /BF works only for articles, but if you are, let's say, working on a memoir, it may not really work. So that's why I prefer using /text BF, because that works across all kinds of document classes. Well, that's all. So I'm done with tables. I'm left with references. But before I talk about references, I will need to look at the questions on the chat. Which macro are you using to draw on Microsoft Word? Okay, so I'm using Microsoft Word 2013 or thereabout. So what I just did was to go to draw, and then when I click on draw, then there is this place, draw with touch. Now I'm also using a touch screen, so I don't know if it's really because of that, but I don't think so. I think it's the software. So you can click on it, and once you click on it, then you can if your stuff is not touch screen, then you can use your mouse to write. But if your laptop is touch screen, then you can use your hand. So that's it. Nothing special. It's just the software, like just the Microsoft Word. Okay. The next question was how can I put two graphs side by side? Oh, that's a great question. Okay. And the other one is, suppose I have a code that executes certain instructions on LaTeX. Can I copy and paste in other section of the write-up and edit to suit that task? Exactly, perfectly. Yes, you can. And in fact, that's a very smart way of learning, is to have an article that has already been typed, right? That's another way. That's the way I actually learned LaTeX, right? Because I wasn't taught. So I just got an article that had that already well typed. And yeah, you can copy, you can paste, you can copy, you can paste. Yes, and it will work. It will work exactly. Yeah, it will work perfectly. That's it. Now, if your LaTeX has a full installation. If your LaTeX doesn't have it's not a full LaTeX, it may tell you there's a missing package here and there where you can download those packages in addition. Okay, so I think I will talk about the downloading of packages maybe at the end. Okay, and is there any other question? Okay, thank you. All right, now let me go to how to add two graphs. Okay, so I'm back here to where I had my first graph, and this is my graph right here. This is just one graph. I want to have two graphs. Well, no big deal. After include graphics of the first graph, do for the second one /include graphics, and then do the second one. Scale it the way you want. So scale, let's say 0.2. No, 0.2 is too small. Say 0.8. Okay, and then I don't have any other graph, so I will repeat this graph. But if you have another graph, then put it. Okay, so this is for the second graph. This is the second graph. Okay, so now I will try to run it here, right here. Boom, they are here, they're together. Yeah, roughly. So that's how you do it. So if you want to include many graphs, you can do this way. Of course, let me try to add another one just for you to see, because you'll now be asking, what if you add plenty? So now let me add plenty of the same type because I don't have any other graph. That's why I'm repeating that. So let's just use the same scale so that I can have that. Okay, so I want to add two of these just for you to see how it will come out and how LaTeX does it. And you see, LaTeX displays it this way. So LaTeX automatically helps you to arrange those things side by side in codes. Of course, if you don't want them to be side by side, just open a new one. That means just start another figure, right? Just start another figure. Like if you don't want them to be side by side, if you want them to be separate, right? Just start something else. Like you see, if I start this one, something else. So it's totally different. So if you want your pictures side by side with the same caption, then just put them /include figure, /include figure, /include graphics, /include graphics. If you want different pictures, then of course you end the figure, you start another figure, and the same thing. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so is there any other question? Okay, I think there is one more. Okay, how do you include different labels for each graphs? Different labels for each graph. So, like I think, okay, so that's quite interesting. Now, let's see. I'm not too sure that I can do this, but let me try first. Let me try. I'm not too sure. Let me just try. So again, nobody has monopoly of knowledge. We have to try and see. Okay, so it seems it works. /label third. Okay, /label fourth. Okay. All right. Now that I've labeled it, let me recall the picture. So recall that, then ref first, ref second. Let's see if it works. Ref third, and ref fourth. Remember I said /ref is to call that, and label is to, let's see how it works. It's not recognizing though. It's not recognizing the labels. But why is it bringing this? Just a minute. Yeah, it's not exactly recognizing it. But I think if I should reference my first graph, which was um, the the caption, the label of the whole thing, then it's not even working. That's strange. Oh no, I didn't type it well. My first graph. Um, yeah, it works. So I'm not sure you can label when you combine the graphs. And I think it's kind of common sense when you combine the figures, when you combine the graphs side by side within a slash begin picture. I don't think it will work. And you can see it didn't work. And that's because it's still the same figure. So if you want to have different labels, I just advise you to separate the figures. So like I said, once you have these ones include graphics within the same within the same figure, then this is how it will come out. And really, I don't think there's any, you can't label them differently. The label just comes like uniquely for this whole figure one, and it works. If you want to have different labels, then just include it in a different figure. You can see right here is a different figure, and you can say my second graph, like if this is my F graph, then I can refer it to my F graph here, and then it will work. So I think that's it. I think you shouldn't. We can label within the we can have different labels within one figure. Okay, so if you want to separate them, then label them. I think that works. Okay, I think I have some other questions. Is there a way Maple software will give you the code to use in LaTeX? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think that if you want to find the codes, I think you may find it on LaTeX or on Maple, I don't know, like functions, check the functions, like if there's some functions and all, but no, that's like within the documentation of Maple, maybe. I'm not so good in Maple, but I'm not aware, Okay. Now, how do we draw geometrical figures like circles, rectangles, and so on? Oh, wow, that's interesting. I will not be able to cover it now, but I can answer you by email how to draw. It's kind of it's a little bit technical. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, it's possible. Of course, it's possible. Like there are stuffs, circle, rectangle, and all of that. Yeah, you can do that. But I won't cover it here. Yeah, I won't cover it here. Yes, but yeah, I can answer you later. You can email me and I can answer that. Okay. All right, now, okay, the person was referring to different caption for each. Yeah, so if you want different captions for each of the graphs, ah, okay, if you want different captions for each of the graphs, I think there should be a way, but I'm not too sure if it's going to be within, yeah, there should be a way, but maybe I should check and I will get back to you. That's to Mr. Ayinla, or I don't know if Dr. Ayinla, I don't know. So sorry if you're doctor or prof. Okay, so I can check and answer you. I will have to check that. I don't have the answer off my head. Okay, how do we input summation, product, and some statistical symbol? Okay, that's good. Okay, I will do that as well. So I think I skipped that. But for sums, so that's just a backtrack. For sums, a summation is just slash sum. Okay, that's it. Slash sum is summation. If you want anything under, then you put underscore I equals to 1, for example. And then if you want the upper bound to I equals to n, of AI is equal to A1 plus A2 plus C dot plus AN. So this will give me the sum that you requested for right here. You can see. Okay, so that's it. This is how you write sum. Okay, and then you can, there are some other things you can write big sum, BIG sum. BIG sum will just give you something bigger. Oh, it didn't even recognize it, so my bad. So maybe it's not here. So my bad, but this is how you do sum anyway, slash sum. Okay, product the same way. Let me just read. Product is slash PROD slash prod. So this is slash prod. And then let me just change this to dots. Change it to dots. Change it to dots. Okay, run it. Yeah, and this is so sorry, C dot, my bad. C dot, C dot, or L dot, whichever. So I will use C dot for the product, and I will use L dot for the dot dot dot, so that it can be different. Okay, so this is it. This is for sum, this is for product. Now, I advise that sometimes when you want to, you may not know all these things. So sometimes when you need it, you can just quickly Google, right? Like sum in latex. You can quickly Google, like I do that. It's not every code I have off head. So if I just don't know how to type a special character, I can quickly type this on latex and Google will bring it out. Of course, or you can have a manual. I don't have a manual, but you can have a manual, a latex manual. There are a lot of latex manuals available that you can have a whole list of all these special sums and all of that. But it's always good to have the minimum sum, product, greater or equal to, less or equal to. It's always good to have a minimum knowledge so that at least you will not always have to be looking here. Okay, I'm done with long equations and graphs and tables. References. Now, there are actually very sophisticated ways of handling references, actually very sophisticated ways, like very nice ways, but I wouldn't really do that. I would just do like the basic way. And so at the end of this template of eCapta, right here, you will see something like slash begin the bibliography 999, leave it that way, slash end bibliography. So anything here, these are the references. Now I right click on jump PDF, you can see these are the references. So all you just need to do is, depending on the format of the journal, so this is our format. So if maybe myself, I've written a paper, you can see the journal wants me to write the author's surname like this, and then the initials, and then the article title and everything. This is how eCapta wants me to write. So if I want to now put my own paper, instead of author, so I would now have, let's say, Olaoluwa, whichever, H for my initials, then I will write it, fixed points of isometries in CAT 0 spaces, whichever, just, okay. And then that's it. Then I type journal of, let's say it was in journal of functional analysis. I don't know, journal of functional analysis. Then the journal wants me to put the volume. The volume is, let's say, imagine the volume is 25. Then what is in the bracket is the issue. Sometimes you don't have issues, sometimes you have issues. So let's say issue number 2. Okay, if there's no issue, you delete it totally. So issue number 2, and then you put the page. So maybe 51 to 48. So to 48 dash dash, like this, minus 2 times 51 to 58. Sorry, and then the year 2000 and let's assume it's 2019. Okay, that's it, and then I run it. Of course, yeah. This is it. This is how eCapta wants my journal format to be. Some journals may tell you that they want the journal to be in italic, like the name of the journal should be italic. So that means that you want something like this so that it will come out like Journal of Functional Analysis in italic. So it depends on the format of the journal. So obviously, you know that when you want to submit your article, you have to go to the journal and download their format, the LaTeX format, and that. Now, if the journal is mute and the journal doesn't have any format, then you can use the CAPTA format or whatever format you want to use. Now, but there's something I need to note. You see this bibliography, you have /bib item, bibliography item, and then you have something in brackets. You can see here /bib item author. Here, that's for the first. Then the second one here, /bib item author 2. The third one, /bib item author 3. Then author 4. Then author 5. Now, whatever you write here is what you will be referring to in the text. Now, imagine I want to recall reference 1 in the text. And I don't want to write the numbers. Can you see these numbers here? For journals, articles 1, 2. They are writing numbers. But you see the problem with numbers is that just imagine you are adding some references and then you want to arrange the references, let's say alphabetically, like manually. Like I said, there are some more sophisticated way, but I want to just focus on the manual. And you've rearranged all those stuffs. You don't have to go back to your texts and correcting the numbering. So it's always good to focus on automatic numbering. So that's why when you put /bib item, it is important that whatever comes in the curly bracket is significant. So I wouldn't put author. For example, I will put, for example, now, by the way, if you leave it empty, nothing changes. Like if you leave it empty, nothing, it will flow. But you do yourself a harm. Now, I would rather put Olaoluwa 2020 or Olaoluwa 20. Just something to identify that, okay, this is the article I'm talking about. So now let me now type something in the text. So in conclusion, our results generalizes generalizes the ones in. I want to now call this reference. I will now put in, then I'll put /site. You see, /site. Then I will open the bracket. Then I'll put Olaoluwa 20. So it's not /ref. /ref, that's for the equation numbers and for the labels of all those figures. But for the reference in the bibliography is /site. Now, let me run it. You would see that as I run it, you see it comes up here. In conclusion, our result generalizes the ones in 1. And if I click on 1, it will take me there. Now, let me do something. Let me copy, let me take this reference. Let me remove it from the first position. Let me remove this reference from the first position. I'm just trying to illustrate something. And let me put the reference at the last position. Imagine that Olaoluwa is like, let's say is the last one. It starts with O, is the last, and I want it to be last. It will come out as reference 5. Let me run it. You see, it comes out as reference 5. Whatever position it is here, that's the number. But you see, I don't have to go to the text to change it. It changes automatically to 5. And that's the beauty. So once you have /bib item, whatever you're putting between those curly brackets, that's very important. You should use those ones on the text by putting /site so that you don't have to worry about the numbering. And that talks also about the references. I hope that addresses that question. Will there be a workshop to treat, PowerPoints? That's important. Now, because of time, there wouldn't be, because I was just given 4 hours, and I'm doing them non-stop, so I'm doing 3 hours, basically. But what I will do is that I would make available a PDF of how to handle Beamer presentation. It's not my PDF. I got it online. It's somebody else's, but it's a free, it's an open document. So I would send, I mean, to be available, I can post it on Telegram and you can follow that. It's basically the same thing. The only difference is instead of article, we are having to do with Beamer, and instead of this article where we don't even care about the pages, you have to deal with things like new slides, like slash begin frame slash end frame. Frame is for the slides. That's the main differences between this and Beamer. Yeah, I actually wanted to do Beamer, but time would not really allow me. Now, before I also before I reach the end, I want to also talk about theorems, because I think throughout I didn't mention theorems. Now, in the format of eCapta, we have the advantage of these stuff that defined already right here. So if I click here, you have all this stuff. These are new commands. Just new commands. I may not have time to go into them, but you have /new theorem. It's just to tell you that you can use /begin theorem, /begin corollary, /begin definition, and all of that. In the eCapta format, it works. If it doesn't work, you can always copy it from the eCapta format and paste it wherever you want for it to work. Okay, that's a good way of doing it. All right, so now let me come here and I want a theorem. A lot of people, this is how they type their theorem. They put /text BF theorem 1, and then they type, here is our theorem. You can do that, but the problem is that it's not cool. Okay, let me run it and then you see. So I go to the page, it's right here, theorem 1. Yeah, it's fine, but you are numbering it yourself. It's not automatic numbering. It's stressful. So the best way, when you have all those new commands theorem, given, you just put /begin theorem /end theorem, and then you type, here is our theorem. And you will notice that it's very beautiful. It gives you an automatic numbering, and it even makes it italic. So it highlights the theorem. So it's very beautiful. And in fact, you can also do that for proofs, /begin proof /end proof. And then I type, there is nothing to prove. Okay? All right. Now, I will run it, and it's nice. It gives me proof. And what's so beautiful about this proof is that sometimes if the proof was long, you would have seen it would have given you even a box to tell you that the proof is ends. So I think it's always good to have /begin theorem /end theorem. It's nice. It gives you automatic numbering. Of course, you have the same thing with /begin definition, /end definition. And then I'll just say this is a test definition. Okay, then I will run it. Okay, and you see right here, this is test definition. So that's how it works. Just a minute. Okay, so that's how it works. It's just that. So that's how you have /begin theorem and all of that. But again, it will not work except if these things are defined, and you can just copy and paste. So you can see right here, you have the definition of, yeah, it may not work if these things are not defined. It may not work. Okay, I'm not saying it will not, but it may not work. Okay, so I think I'm more or less a little bit done, except if there are questions. And again, I would send the PDF on how to handle Beamer. And yeah, and basically with this, you can, it shouldn't be so much of such a tough time. Can we put the video of this workshop on Telegram? Of course, I don't know how to do that. I don't know if the host has a way of getting the videos of our meetings. I don't know. I think there should be a way. I don't know. I think there's a recording that is on, but I don't know. I really don't know how to do that. So the organizers, the hosts, if you know how to do that, it would be nice if the video of this whole thing can be available. Okay. So, all right. Now, can we also reference the theorems and proof? Yes. Oh, that's a very great question. So how to reference the theorem and proofs? Well, for example, you just put label, same thing. So this theorem slash label, let me just put important one. Okay. Of course, you have to put significant label so that you will not, but then, so if I put slash label important one, it will not show up, right? But then when I want to recall it, I will say from theorem, then I'll put slash ref important one. We have nothing. Okay, so now I run it. You see from theorem, and you see how it's even beautiful. And if I click on 1.1, it will take me to the theorem. So if it was in another page, because it seems that it's not taking me to the theorem here, but if it were on another page, once I click on 1.1, it will even take me back to the theorem. If I click on this 5, it will take me to the reference, you know, all those things like that, yeah. With the eCapta package, it's not always, because the eCapta format includes some IPAREF. This package, this use package IPAREF is what allows you to click and then it jumps. So if a journal doesn't have IPAREF, then it should not be showing this way, but you can always go and add IPAREF, use package / use package IPAREF. You can always do that. Nothing says you can't do that. Okay, but that I think should answer the question as to, you know, how we can reference that. So it's just the same thing, slash label for the theorem, and then when you want to call it, slash ref, and it will call it. It will call it beautifully. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Oh, there are. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. The recording. Really, I don't know. Can Mr. Adegoke, if you know how, you can tell me how to make the video available. I really don't know how to do that. But you can, Mr. Adegoke can text me on how to do it if there is a way. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I'm done. Okay, a last question. Does the begin theorem element in LaTeX generate a numbering? Yes, it generates a numbering for the theorem automatically. In this case, the way the theorem here is numbered using the section. So theorem 1.1 is because we are under section 1.1. Some people, you can rearrange this numbering for it not to be numbered by section, but by subsection. You know, you can see things here. If you study stuff, you have something like section, you have something like section. These stuffs are numbered by section. But if you remove some of all these things, then it should just be giving you an automatic numbering like theorem 1, theorem 2, theorem 3. So you can play around with these stuffs. You can play around with these stuffs if you want a different kind of numbering. But the numbering is automatic. That's the main thing. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so the host is recording the Zoom presentation. Okay. All right. So please, the hosts, please, yeah, please make the videos available. That would be nice. Okay. What other message? Okay. Let me check. Okay. All right. Are there different LaTeX applications? I don't know if I would say they are called application, but basically you have different softwares, like you have different LaTeX versions. The one I made available and the one I'm using is MikTeX. You have ZLaTeX, you have other ones. So, I don't know. stick with what you know, stick with what you're comfortable with. Some people don't like the one I'm using. They prefer installing another stuff. Like it still works with MidText, then they install, let's say, Text Studio or things like that. That would give them already, like if they want to have Integral, they just go and click on Integral. But the thing is that you may not necessarily know how it, like, you not be necessarily be able to know, like if you want to talk, like let's say you want to talk to a mathematician and you want to communicate by email, you know, you would like to type some things. I want to tell the mathematician slash integral of, I would like to type it on my email and he should be able to understand me. So once I know how to use the LaTeX raw code, then I'll be able to type that. But some people don't like this raw code. So whatever, if you prefer the other one that looks already like an editor, you can do that as well. Mathematical software. Okay, I'll try to see if it's if I can get the link. I don't know if there's a free version. If there is a free version, I'll try that. Okay, and my email. Okay, so you can contact me. Here. Okay. Yeah, that's. Oh, sorry, I sent it to someone privately. Let me send it to. That was a mistake to everyone. Okay, so that's my email. All right. Okay, so which one is better to use, slash begin theorem or to define the new command for the theorem? Oh, whichever way, you can define a new command for the theorem. I prefer using slash begin theorem. I think it's simpler for me. But some people will define something so they can just type slash begin THM, you know, instead of writing theorem, THM. Whichever way, you can define a new command for it. Yeah, you can define a new command for it. Okay. All right, okay, I think I'm done for today. Thank you for following. I'm sorry if I bored some people, like maybe it was too simple for them. Yeah, because I just assumed that there are different levels of expertise in this thing. So yeah, I don't claim to be an expert on this, but I hope it was helpful. And if you have any other questions, you can ask me by sending me a private email. Thank you very much for joining. And yeah, I think I'm done. Organizers, co-organizers, host, please take over. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.